Hello, welcome to Fox Fight Game. I'm Mike Straka, and I have in my hand here the book that comes out today, Forrest Griffin, Got Fight, and the author joining us here on Fox Fight Game, Forrest Griffin. How are you? Congratulations on your book, by the way.
Thank you. I think you haven't read it yet, so maybe it's not so much to congratulate. But
well, first of all, was it fun writing it?
It was. I just called the guy up and screamed, and he recorded it and tried to make sense of it, and now it's a book. So people were talking about it being hard. It was pretty easy for me. All you got to do is call somebody up and start yelling.
The guy you're talking about is Erich Krause. He's your co-author on the book.
And he's a good friend, actually. I don't think it would have worked if I'd have had like a real author, but I feel really comfortable belittling him and telling him what a horrible job he's doing and that I don't like the material.
Do you find, because you have a really dry sense of humor, and do you find that your sense of humor doesn't translate to your audience?
Yeah, well, sometimes it's humor, and sometimes I just get away with saying very hateful things because I say them with a little smirk on my face.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
because I've interviewed you a few times, and I'm thinking to myself, does he hate my guts, or is he just trying to be funny?
Well, you know, I do hate your guts, but I hate myself too. So you're all in the same boat, you know.
Let's talk real quick about
society in general. You said you wrote a book about celebrity and the downfall of society. Hey, I'm a believer, man. Yeah.
So anyway, the book comes out. It's on bookshelves today, by the way, and so go out and buy it. Let's talk real quick, though. Lyoto Machida in your weight class, what a disastrous knockout for Rashad.
Yeah, and Machida, you can't say enough good things about him. I don't like the way he fights. It's I don't know. It's weird. It's boring till it's exciting. But at least he's figured out how to pull the trigger. Nobody better at going from static, standstill, nothing to 100 miles an hour, finishing the fight. And he's gotten to where, and I don't think he had this in the beginning, he's gotten to where he sees when guys are hurt and has the conditioning and confidence to go after them. Whereas if you look at his earlier fight, he would kind of hurt guys or hit guys or score points and then settle for that and back away. And now he sees those openings and he goes for them, terrorizes people.
On the Octagon side that night on UFC 98, I interviewed Mike Tyson, and he put it really succinctly to me. He said that Lyoto lulls you into a rhythm, and then he goes in for the kill.
Yeah.
Have you ever fought anybody like that? And you will be fighting somebody like that at 101.
I hate those fights. I like guys just come out and go, and then you just go, and it's a fight and whatever. All those static lulls, those are the times when you have to think and kind of stop yourself and be smart. But you can't be thinking too much, because if you get caught thinking, you get caught. So it's a tough way to fight people.
Speaking of a tough
fight, maybe those guys are onto something.
Yeah, I think they are. I mean, between Anderson Silva and Machida, they're got a pretty good record.
Yeah, they haven't lost a fight in the UFC yet.
No, but
Machida hasn't lost a round.
Right, and Dana told me that they did a stat on him. He is the least touched fighter in UFC history. Which,
ironically, I'm like the most touched. So, I got that going for me.
But you like getting hit. That's the difference.
I've gotten old. That's I don't like getting hit so much anymore. If you're going to be dumb, you better be tough. And I've always been tough, but now I'm thinking I'm going to be smart. Maybe I won't have to be so tough. It's just the thought. I don't know.
And, that is, to take what your joke seriously, that is the pro to the way Anderson Silva and Lyoto Machida fight. They're just smart fighters, don't you think?
Yeah.
Almost too smart.
They're finding their opening. They're, it's patience, and the audience doesn't always want to see patience. I don't even always want to see patience, and I know how good they are. But, sometimes two guys that aren't as skilled maybe just brawl. That's kind of more fun to watch, Whereas those guys, you have to almost know a little more and to kind of have done it a little bit to know how amazing what they're doing really is, like how difficult this is, what they're doing.
Do you think...
And the people are doing it, too. It's not like they're beating, nobody's up. They're beating talented people doing this stuff.
But I don't think either of those guys have fought a fighter like you or for instance, Randy Couture, where you guys bring the fight in, you smother them with your weight, put them up against the cage, do some dirty boxing, and then take you down and do the ground and pound.
Well, that was, Henderson's strategy against Silva, and that's a fight I can kind of look and see where did that go wrong, because I thought if anybody had a good chance against him, it would be Henderson, Great wrestling background, I thought, Olympic caliber wrestler. I thought, well, we'll see what he does with that. And, Anderson just stayed patient, stayed relaxed, flowed, and then as soon as Henderson wore him out, he killed him.
Has his chin been tested, Anderson's?
A little bit, yeah. Yeah, not too much. It's hard to hit. I wouldn't know. My chin gets tested all the time. I'm not hard enough to hit, you know.
I think
he's got that length and, you know, movement, and he
he's
never
almost like
takes his eyes off anything. He just moves his head around, almost the way they teach you not to back straight up, but he does.
He is kind of like a ballet dancer out there, deadly ballet dancer.
Yeah.
Where
I'm not going to call him a ballet dancer.
Right.
Well, it's not before the fight.
And you're more like a brawler where you go in.
Yeah, I'm more like a guy that loads bricks on trucks for a living. Yeah, you know, and I'm trying to kind of change that a little, be a little more finesseful. The problem is I don't seem to knock people out, so my style of fighting isn't really working. You know, now, so I'm going to try and, you know, land different things and actually aim for people's chin instead of just go, ah! Right. So it's a new strategy. We'll see how it works. Could be horrible.
One thing everybody says about you is that your conditioning is next. Nobody is as conditioned as you are out there.
I'm an excellent runner.
I'm an excellent driver.
I can jog quite well.
What do you do to keep that cardio up, especially as you get older?
Train. And just try and do it. Do the activity. Do it with the fresh guy coming in on you every minute or so, you know.
Lots of round robins.
Yeah.
Look at a guy like Randy, who's 45.
1007.
Yeah, 1,007 years old, and he lives in the gym. Do you take any inspiration from somebody like that?
Yeah, of course. You know, and what I take from Randy is game planning and specific strategy per fight and training for the fight and for the position. I would see him throwing a combination in the gym again and again and again and again, and then I would see him do that, you know, to somebody, and, you know, I was like, oh, that's exactly what I saw him do a million times. There he is making it work. Where I would see a half guard position, and then in his next fight, sure enough, there you see it, there it is, boom. So he trains a position, and then he trains how to make that position happen. It's just, you know, it's smart. He's one of the first guys really to, I think, break it down in steps, a game plan. And this is where I want to be. This is this guy's weakness. What steps do I take to get there? That's you know, good. And then you actually get in a fight and people start hitting you and stuff and all that. You're like, what was I doing? Where did I want this guy?